remain standing afterwards. Pastor Don Beasley will lead us through the tonight's invocation.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we bow our heads? Heavenly Father, as we gather here to consider and make decisions that will affect public policy, we turn to you and we seek your counsel, remembering your promise to give us wisdom and guidance. We bless you for this great country. Thank you for all of our freedoms, and ask that we would remember with humility the God that we pray to, the community that we represent, and the task for which we've been entrusted. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Nancy, will you do a roll call, please?
Sure. Acree?
Here.
Bivens?
Here.
Book?
Here.
Friel?
Here.
Gascoigne?
Here.
Hudson?
Present.
Huss? Kitson?
Present.
Coop?
Allie.
Noted. Ally. Copine?
Here.
Laram?
Present.
Naylor? Present. Pearson?
Present.
Robertson?
Present.
Sheline?
Here.
Shippert?
Here.
Scrogstad?
Here.
White? Here. Wilson? Here. Zeman?
Here.
Olson?
Here. Thank you. Under announcements, I got please mute or turn your cell phones off so they don't interrupt our meeting. And I also have CIRMA dividends, which I think Mike Zeman will address that in his report from claims. So we'll move on down to the approval of board minutes for January 18th meeting. Is there any corrections or changes? Any corrections or changes from the January 18th meeting? If no changes or corrections, we'll let them stand as presented. We'll move down to monthly resolutions. We have no Joseph Meyer resolutions this month. Zoning and planning, there's a monthly report. It's in your packet. Gives an overview of their activities from their office and at their office, the activities of petitions. Any questions on the report? If none, we'll move down to V. There are two petitions going to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Petition 24-P-1621 by Pulse Solar 2 LLC regarding PIN number 16-01-35-400-009. It's located in Palmyra Township. Is there a motion to move this petition to the ZBA? Mr. Naylor moves. Mr. Kitson seconds it. Any discussion? If no discussion, all those in favor of moving the petition to the ZBA signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Go to our second petition. It's petition number 24-P-1622, David and Lisa Dewey, regarding PIN number 16-07-01-203-006. It's also located in Palmyra Township. Is there a motion to move this petition to the ZBA? Mr. Hudson moves. Mr. Friel seconds. Any discussion? No discussion. Everybody in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I've got no petitions going to the Planning Commission, no petitions coming from the ZBA, and there are no petitions going from the Planning Commission. We'll go down to our Administrator monthly update and board member comments. Jeremy, do you have anything you'd like to report this time?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to our assessment office and GIS professionals. There was a press release that went out by the Illinois Department of Revenue, Director David Harris, that the assessment office had reached an equalization factor of 1 for the years 2020, 2021, and 2022, meaning that the assessment has been through Lee County, and all properties are at 33.33% of market value based on sales. So that is precisely the exact number that they're trying to reach. So I just wanted to give a kudos to the hard work that the assessment office and GIS folks put in to make sure that we have such a great assessment piece here. So kudos to them. I did want to mention that the Health Department does have a new residential sharps collection program. These are for needles, syringes, finger sticks, auto injectors, anything like that. If you do not know where to dispose of them, please reach out to the Health Department. They have a collection program for that. And I did want to mention that we had a great meeting with Illinois Tollway just the other day as they're looking to work with the community, specifically on the I-88 corridor counties to see what our economic development, commercial and community development initiatives are moving forward so they could start planning some expansion or ideas within their 2026 capital budget. So it was a great conversation, and hopefully we continue to partner with them moving forward. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments for Jeremy? Thanks, Jeremy. Any board members would like to speak at this time? All right, we'll move on then. Go to public comments. I've got longtime board member Marilyn Shippert. She's up first. She's got 10 minutes because she wants to talk about an item on the agenda. So Marilyn, welcome
Not
back.
going to take me 10 minutes. I'm Marilyn Shippert, and as Mr. Olson said, I sat in your place here 18 years. Tonight, I want to share my opinion as though I was still on the board, how I would vote. I'm speaking in favor of the resolution designating Lee County as a non-sanctuary county. First 10 paragraphs of that resolution are things that are beyond the control of the county. The meat of the resolution is in the last 2 paragraphs, where we pledge the resources of Lee County will be limited to the residents of Lee County, and the Lee County taxpayer-funded services and our dollars will not be provided towards the immigration crisis. I hope you can see that this is a benefit to Lee County and to all Lee County residents. I urge you to vote in favor of this resolution, which I would do if I were in your place. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Next up, I got Cindy Knight, and she has 10 minutes also.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening. My name is Cindy Knight. I was born and raised in rural Lee County on a farm, what's affectionately known as the Swamp. My brother and my nephew are now 5th generation of my family to farm here, so Lee County is my beloved home. I deeply care about this area, and I am very involved in the Ashton and Franklin communities where I've served on school board, various community committees, organized countless events, and currently serve as Bradford Township Supervisor. So I'm very concerned about the effects here from the open borders at our country's borders. And I commend the board for taking up this resolution to make Lee County a non-sanctuary county. Our federal government has failed us. Our state government has failed us. And in fact, are aiding and abetting by allowing hundreds of thousands of unvetted people, in fact, enough to surpass the population of 36 states of our union. They're flooding across the border and then sending them all over the country, right up to our doorstep. Even the self-proclaimed sanctuary city of Chicago is now crying, saying they can't handle anymore, and they're starting to push out. Suburbs are passing ordinances to protect themselves, while others are being bribed by the government to take them permanently. The governor is even now asking downstate rural counties to take them. So it is only a matter of time before counties like ours become a target, if we aren't already. LaSalle County, I know for a fact, and many others around the state have passed similar resolutions recently. So it is not too soon to be addressing this issue. We are a nation of laws and welcome those willing to follow the laws and the process. What is happening now is none of these things. It is since the federal and the state government are not willing to protect its citizens and use the resources for its productive tax-paying citizens, many of whom are in real need, then I implore you, our last line of defense, so to speak, our county board members, to vote yes on this resolution and stand up for your constituents. Thank you for your time.
And then last but not least, Brad Nichols. He's got 10 minutes also.
Thank you, Chairman. So same topic. I really just came up here to thank you guys. When I found out that you guys were going to bring this up to a vote, I was ecstatic because I've been wondering and waiting for something like this to protect the citizens. So I just wanted to say thank you for standing up for the citizens that elected you to this position. Because I believe with all my heart that the people are getting tired of their elected officials to worry more about how the suburb people feel about what they do instead of the people that elect them. So remember that when you vote tonight, that you're representing the people that voted for you. You're protecting what we enjoy so much about Lee County. And for those of you that may be on the fence, don't worry about being anti-immigrant. As Ms. Knight said before, we're open, our country is open to immigrants, but there's rules and there's a law. There's a way to become a legal citizen. All we want is people to follow that. Protect Lee County, protect the beautiful county that we have, protect the people. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys for bringing this resolution. I probably won't be able to be here when the vote's taken, but I'm hoping to hear good news tonight that Lee County will not be a sanctuary county for illegal immigration. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, we'll go to the county organization presentations and updates. We're going to start out with Lucas Polly, Visit Lee County.
Thank you for having me. I am Lucas Pauly from Discover Dixon and now Visit Lee County. I'm the marketing director. I just want to share what we've done these first couple of months with this partnership with Lee County and kind of share what we hope to do for the rest of the year. So I've provided a presentation that I will go through with you. So our mission at Visit Lee County, we aim to reawaken the power of tourism in Lee County. We believe that positioning Lee County as a popular destination in Northwest Illinois is possible, and it is our goal to promote the beauty, peace, history, and recreation it has to offer. We look forward to highlighting the unique retail opportunities to be found throughout Lee County and the people who make our communities thrive. Making it a reality. We've started to revitalize tourism in Lee County with a new brand, personality, identity, and voice, which you may have seen on social media. We will utilize unique and detailed marketing methods and professional videography and imagery to produce top-notch promotional advertisement pieces for Visit Lee County. We will take advantage of data tools available to track footprints, feedback, success, and progress. We will adapt and continue to build a strong brand as we go along. Getting started. In late 2023, we began bringing social media content and creator influencers into Lee County to highlight tourism sites, events, and businesses. Visit Lee County provides these influencers a list of places to visit, and in return, the influencer documents their excursions with more than 200 plus videos or photos and videos, as well as playbooks that we can put on the website that shows people when they come to Lee County, this is a day that you could go through when you visit Lee County. These itineraries will be posted on Visit Lee County's websites. They will have maps, directions, links to businesses, and a description of the trip. These visits are invaluable for Visit Lee County to build the content for all of these businesses and events throughout the year so we can start promoting everything. It's been invaluable and we look forward to continuing those visits this year. Social, we began preparing content in December and unveiled the brand officially on January 2nd. We've made it a point to really engage the community. We want to get follower feedback, ask people what their favorite events are, what's your favorite thing to do in Lee County. We want to hear from the community that makes up Lee County, not just the people that we're hoping to bring to Lee County. So we've also spent a lot of time highlighting some of the early events, the Sublette Antique Tractor and Toy Show. The YMCA has a Shamrock Shuffle we've done a post on. The movies at the Dixon Historic Theater, a couple posts that we've done on that. We've done, many more of these type of posts, but those are just a few of the examples. And you'll notice with the Visit Lee County brand, so we've really made a focus to also, while we're promoting these events, highlight Visit Lee County's brand itself. We're going from a content sharer to kind of more of a content creator focused. So we can kind of make sure that while we're still sharing these events and these restaurant shout outs, you're still seeing the Visit Lee County brand as well. And that will kind of continue brand awareness, people engagement, and visitors will kind of know that as they continue to come back. Our social media results. In the first month, we've honestly seen impressive growth. on Facebook especially. We did have to relaunch the Instagram, so we're still building a follower base back there. We had to relaunch that on January 2nd. So we're still building that up through different giveaways that we've done, and we will continue to do throughout the year. We have done organic posts, and we've also started with paid advertisements on social media as well. So those are reaching people across the region as well. Content interactions, these are just some metrics that we have, are up 272%. Organic reach is up 327%. So that's the amount of people that are seeing our posts is up 300% since January 2nd. Visits directly to the Facebook page are up 83%. Visits directly to the Instagram page the past 28 days are up 195%. We had, at the time of sending this over, I believe we had 39 new Facebook likes. We are now at 72 new Facebook likes since January 2nd. We now have, it was 99 new page follows, and we are now at 140. So that was just a week ago. We've added even 50 more followers. So we've seen some impressive growth. We've had some people sharing our posts. Some of the same people seem to be interacting. So we're getting impressive growth there. So it's been nice to see. Plans for 2024. So the social, we've transitioned now to a regular schedule after unveiling the brand the first couple of weeks. Now we're getting into what you're going to see regularly from Visit Lee County. And you'll see different posts throughout the week highlighting different and unique aspects of Lee County. We will continue to develop the brand's voice. We love the brand voice and brand elements that we created, but those will continue to develop throughout the year. And we plan to unveil contests and giveaways to promote awareness and build those follower accounts even more this year. And just strengthen the social presence for Visit Lee County on Facebook and Instagram and any other social media platforms that we deem would be a good fit for Visit Lee County. The thing about this too, the unique and creative content that we've helped create allows us to also track what we're posting. So when you create organic content from your page that you created, you can get those insights. And when you're doing more of sharing posts, that's a little bit harder to track those insights. So it's a little bit better for us to be able to follow those metrics as well as we go along. Upcoming social media influencer visits. So we actually have one coming up here in March. It's a treat yourself style day in Amboy. We are working with a few businesses in Amboy on getting a visit for a daughter and an influencer and her daughter to treat themselves in Amboy and kind of highlight that through all those photos and videos that they share with us. We are finalizing plans for another visit in April. That'll be a family fun with dinner in Ashton, fun at Plum Hollow, and more fun planned after that. And then we also have more trips that we will have in April, May, and June. And this is something that we will continue to do each year, have these social media influencers visit. We won't do as many visits as we're doing this first year, but this first year is really allowing us to kind of build up that content for the businesses and the events throughout Lee County to utilize as well. So we have also updated the website. We have a new domain, visitleecountyil.com. The previous links also work as well. So if people are still seeing those links elsewhere, they still redirect to the new website. And the website has been rebranded and retooled. The website was a very well-functioning website. We have made some changes and streamlined a few things, but what was there before was a really great functioning website. So we are kind of just seeing how we're going to retool that going forward. And we really want, one thing we have changed on the website is the events calendar. You can now, if you're a community member, you can now submit an event where before that was not being allowed before that. So now we are asking people to come submit their events and we approve those and kind of have that there for people. We want that to be a hub for people really to see what's going on in Lee County. We are also doing advertisements throughout the year. We currently have ads running on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and regional print publications in Illinois and surrounding states. These ads have increased brand awareness, produced hundreds of visits to the site, and helped build the new brand's voice and presence. These ads also go beyond the metrics that I shared a few pages earlier. Those metrics are just the organic metrics that we've got from our own posts that are not paid advertisements. We've reached hundreds of thousands of people with the paid advertisements that we have done. So those metrics are pretty impressive as well. I just really wanted to reflect on the organic posts, the things that we're sharing every single day before that. We will continue to set benchmarks for our advertising goals and assess and adapt throughout 2024. We're going to be trying different new things. Some of these things might be new to Lee County. So we'll see what works and kind of use expertise that we've done in the past with our organization, Discover Dixon as well, and kind of utilize that for Visit Lee County as well. Video production. So we did have a videographer come late last year. We got caught by the weather a little bit, so it got a little closer to winter than we would like, so we weren't able to shoot as much as we had wanted to. So we are going to finish gathering some spring footage this year, and then we will run some traditional television and digital video ads in late spring and early summer. This professional footage will be extremely valuable for tourism efforts in Lee County. That footage will be Visit Lee County's to use however we please going forward as well. It won't just be used for that advertisement. We can use that for social media. We can work with the business that we visit and get the videography done there. We can give that to them as well. We really want to, offer that help and help these businesses work directly with businesses and event organizations and community organizations and help promote them as well. Tracking our progress. So tracking visitors and tourism. Visit Lee County has access to software to analyze and track foot traffic and event numbers and visitor trends. This software can be used to analyze migration trends, event performance, seasonal customer trends, routes usage, retail, grocery, and dining trends, and insights through this software will allow us to increase the effectiveness by marketing to the right customer base. We can see the effectiveness of certain marketing practices that we are going to unveil by seeing who's coming after we do those, marketing practices. It allows us to work with businesses even on, knowing if they need feedback on a certain aspect of their own business or foot traffic at their business or an event or a community organization. We can also offer that information for people in Lee County as well. So that'll be very useful. With all forms of video, digital, and social advertisement, Visit Lee County has instant access to real-time analytics to determine our effectiveness. We will continually be assessing results through all avenues, which will allow us to pivot and make changes if needed. Being able to do so allows Visit Lee County to take advantage of the most cost-effective and successful routes to promoting our community. Even with the television advertising that we do, we have access to instant metrics dashboards where we can see, the feedback almost instantaneously of how those are being received, who's watching them. That's the kind of information we will use throughout the year to see what's working and what's not and build from there. Here's to 2024 and beyond. We're very excited to promote Lee County's recreation. We're such an outdoor friendly area. We have such a rich history, unique shops, places to spend the night, and much more. We want to just continue to build the image of Lee County as being a destination where people want to visit and keep coming back to year after year. Find yourself in Lee County is a tagline, and that's what it's all about. We can't wait to show the region what Lee County has to offer, and it's going to be a very exciting year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Lucas? Yes, Liam.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Are we funding this as Lee County or is it just Discover Dixon?
Lee County.
Lee County is?
Yep, we are funding it.
We are funding?
Yep. We signed a contract with them to move forward. And they're doing an excellent job, and I like their data-driven decisions, and it's working good. More comments?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Move on to Carla Belzer, University of Illinois Extension.
I was feverishly taking notes over there. I think I need to connect with Lucas. I think there's a great partnership there for us to promote some of the events that we have also going on in the county. So good evening, everyone. Nice to see you again. Just by means of introduction, Carla Belzer, I'm the county director for the University of Illinois Extension. And I come once a quarter just to share with you some updates and things that we have going on in Extension, so you can be aware of how we're serving the county and how we are addressing community needs that we've identified through our community-based assessment. So just as a quick review, Illinois Extension exists. Our whole mission and purpose is to help communities, individuals, and families thrive by helping them make creative and informed decisions that enhance their quality of life over a broad area of interest and skills and needs. So we do that work in all sorts of spaces throughout the state, everywhere from downtown Chicago to the rural of most rural places in our state. So we have a wide wealth of resources that helps us do our work. So based on our official informal community needs assessment that we did in 2022, we've identified 5 priority areas. We did this assessment through conversations with key informants and informal interviews with key informants. And we took all of that data and really analyzed what the current needs are in the community. And we update those needs and take a look at those needs every year. And we really engage in a process of ongoing community assessment through coming to meetings just like this, to engaging in our coalition and partnership meetings that we go to so we can keep on top of what needs are in the county. So those 5 priority areas that we address through our programming are chronic disease prevention and management, social emotional health, food access, thriving youth, and workforce preparedness and advancement. So when I come to speak to any county board, I like to highlight the work that we're doing in those areas so you can feel secure that we are not only addressing the identified needs, but we're doing so in a multiple variety of ways. So I just want to briefly mention the handouts that I send because I know that sometimes there's a lot of them. When you only come once a quarter, it's really hard to pinpoint just a few select programs that we're doing and how they're impacting the community. So I kind of look at it as twofold. First of all, it's an invitation to each of you to attend our programs. We would love to have your participation just to come see what we're doing and the impact that we're making. I can stand here and tell you and show you statistics and talk about the work that we're doing and the difference that we're making. But until you hear that from one of our youth participants, till you hear that from one of our community partners, till you hear that from an adult who's coming to our program and learning skills that enhance their life, you know, that makes a bigger difference than anything I could ever tell you. So that's the first reason why I send you all those handouts. The other reason is if you see something of interest that might be to your constituents, I would encourage you to share that opportunity with them. We highly exist on word of mouth. We have our means of marketing and getting information out, but you are also great advocates for us. So I would encourage you to share those opportunities with people. So I just wanted to go through our program areas just quickly and just update you with some of the things that we're doing. So 4-H is our Thriving Youth priority area. Our youth, they are always a priority area. We really see our work with youth in not only preparing them for successful futures and as citizens and in their careers of choice, but also hopefully as citizens that we retain in our local county. So our traditional 4-H community clubs, there's a listing in your packet. Those are going very strong. Some of the opportunities that they've had in the last few months include a quality assurance training for how they handle their livestock projects at the upcoming fair this summer. We've had a beef weigh-in activity. There is a current Kids and Canines program that we're doing in partnership with Granny Rose, not only teaching youth how to handle their canine partners, but all of these experiences incorporate the opportunity for youth to demonstrate mastery. They have to get up in front of adults and present themselves and master skills of public speaking. There's not a lot of opportunities out there for youth to do that. So when we can have young people starting as early as the age of 8, getting comfortable with that skill, we are very proud to provide them with that opportunity. We also had a rabbit workshop as well. Our Kids in the Kitchen program remains going strong. That is a monthly program that we meet here in Dixon. There are 10 youth involved in that. Home ec really is not taught in schools anymore. And we are also seeing, there's a rise in using fast food, convenience food, processed foods, because people, even adults, don't have the time or the bandwidth to actually cook. So the premise behind that program is we want to get youth in early and interested in cooking. I will share with you, I find it so interesting. 9 of the 10 youth in that program are young men. They're boys. And it's great because when we talk with them, they see themselves as future chefs, as future people who are in the culinary arts, but also as future dads and husbands that can provide for their family. So it's really powerful. And at times I have moms come to me and say, why did you have to show my kid an Instapot? Because now that is on their Christmas list or their birthday list, or, my son now wants a stand mixer, and those things are very expensive. But so we're really excited about that. So some of the formal handouts that I have, and I'll go through these really quick. We are starting a 4-H Pixel Pioneers Spin Club. You might ask, what is that? It's an opportunity for youth to learn about graphic design and marketing in a non-school setting and explore career development in that field. We have had, that program has gone bonkers. We had to reopen a registration. We're now at 30 youth that are interested in that program. And I did something a little different. I actually wanted to share with you their workbook, just so you can see it's not just, kind of boring stuff. It's really engaging in that field in a fun and approachable way. And then the youth can have an opportunity to display their what they learned in a mastery event, like showing at the fair or doing another public presentation. We are still going strong with our programming with SOC. There are opportunities for both youth and adult programming around social emotional issues like mindfulness and bullet journaling. Both of those skills will help participants manage stress, learn about time management, and manage their emotions effectively. We are also starting our Lee County Junior Garden, which is a huge hit with our local youth. That program fills every single year. The purpose of that program is to teach youth that growing things is fun, number one, but it also introduces them to healthy foods and physical activity. So we're addressing youth obesity in that manner. We have a project pool event coming up. Again, it's another opportunity for youth to explore a variety of areas of 4-H projects that they can do. There are, over 70 4-H projects that youth can experience and develop mastery in that can help inform their future career decisions. So I just wanted to share those few things with you regarding our youth programming that we have coming up. Food access remains a big topic and a big need in our community, not only actually finding food, but also we believe in helping people learn how to grow their own food. So we do a lot of programming around introduction to horticulture, so people can develop that comfort level and that skill level. So we have some programs coming up again out at SOC to create bottle terrariums and do succulent wreaths, those types of things. They really serve as a gateway for people to say, oh, hey, I can do this. It's not as hard as I thought. Maybe my next step is I'm going to have a container garden, at my place. And then maybe the next step is I'm going to have a raised bed, or I'm going to have a community garden. And that's really how we layer those skills so that people can eventually become self-sufficient. Also with food access, we have our Ready, Set, Grow Garden Workshop coming up. That is an annual event that we offer here in Dixon. It contains a variety of, it's a conference essentially, that contains a variety of sessions for novice to advanced gardeners. So that will be coming up next month. Our family life educator is still working on chronic disease prevention and management. She has a very, very successful brain health program that we partner with many different community agencies throughout Carroll and Whiteside counties, but here locally, we offer that at KSB. So that's once a month. It's really focused, the actual program is focused on brain health and socialization, but research demonstrates that as we all get older, those things are critical in keeping us healthy, not only physically healthy, but our mental health strong and keeping us in our homes longer as well. So we have demonstrated some research that if we can do those things and get people engaged in those activities, they are less of a burden on the healthcare system if we can keep them healthier longer. So I finally just wanted to kind of wrap up and give a couple of kudos to the county board also. We have some of you on board for our broadband breakthrough community broadband planning program. That is a mouthful. That is a great example of how extension not only serves our communities as a whole, but can also serve to meet your specific needs as a county board. I know in the past I've spoke about our local government education webinar series. When I met with Jeremy earlier this month, he indicated that broadband is an issue. It is for a lot of rural communities. We have many projects in that area going on through our community economic development team. So I just wanted to highlight the fact that Lee County is one of the 6 counties in the entire state that's in the cohort this year. And we're really looking forward to seeing how that experience helps in supporting the broadband plan for Lee County. We are here as a resource to help you along that journey. Our community economic development educator, Mike Delaney, he has great skills in this area. He has some experience helping other counties with this. So we're looking forward to partnering with that. And then I also want to say a huge kudos and a thank you for being receptive to the Hometown Leaders program. So I want to acknowledge that Lee County is one of the first counties in this northwest region of Illinois that is engaging in that. I'll just give you a little synopsis. That program is a project between county boards and local youth to get local youth engaged in county government. Again, to help inspire them to be good citizens and potentially run for county government down the road. So we're really excited about that. Lee County is the first county in our unit to engage in that. So we can't wait to see how that works out this year. And it's my hope that that develops into a sustainable model. And my hope is that's something that you're going to want to do every year to get the youth, or maybe every other year. I don't want to commit you to anything, but to get the youth engaged, because they really are our future. I know that sounds very cliche, but we really need to be engaging and capturing those youth and sharing with them all the great things about our county. So finally, I just want to say in regards to our ongoing needs assessment, we like to stay on top of developing and emerging needs in our counties. So we engage in that ongoing needs assessment process through, again, key informant interviews, attending meetings like this, going to our coalition meetings. But as county representatives, I would encourage you that as you become aware of needs in our community, please contact us, because we are continually responding to and developing plans of action to meet community needs. The best example I can give you is I was like a month into my role as an educator earlier on in my career with Extension, and I got a phone call from a local community partner that says, "Do you have anything on disaster preparedness?" Well, that was not necessarily my skill set or my area of expertise, but I have an entire state of professionals, educators that provide research-backed information to address our needs. And within 30 minutes, I had that person connected to the right person who could give them some resources, and we could formulate a plan to meet their needs. So I would just encourage you, if there ever is a need or a concern, please reach out directly to me, and I would be happy to engage in conversation, to hear what is going on all throughout the county, and then work collaboratively to develop a plan of action. So that's all that I have. I threw a lot at you tonight. That's what happens when I come only once a quarter. So
Any questions or comments for Carla? Thank you.
thank you.
Moving on to Tom Dimmer from Lizita.
Mr. Chairman, board members, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I want to give you a little bit of an update, but then I'll open it up for questions too. One of the most important partnerships that the Lee County Industrial Development Association has is with Intersect Illinois, which is a public-private partnership at the state level that does marketing for Illinois sites and, most importantly, requests for information from site selectors and project managers who are looking for places in Illinois to locate. So a couple of updates there. First, Lee County has been participating with Intersect in a program called the Vetted Sites Program. The Vetted Sites Program is something where Intersect from a state level comes in and looks at the available properties you have in a county, makes sure it meets a series of requirements, and then does paid promotion at no cost to anybody in the county of those sites to people around the country and across the world for potential projects. In Lee County, the dual rail mega site that's south of Rochelle in Alto Township was one of the first 3 sites that were focused on by the Vetted Sites Initiative in the entire state. At first, the program was only looking at sites that were over 1,000 acres or more. And that site qualified for that. And we've been benefiting from marketing and promotion of that site for nearly a year already. Now the Vetted Sites Program is expanding to sites that are more than 200 acres. And so we've submitted for their consideration 2 additional sites in Lee County. One in the Lee County Business Park, the industrial park here just south of I-88, where we have about 220 acres, as well as a site that's on the south end of Bloody Gulch Road, where we have a little over 200 acres as well. So both of those sites have been submitted for this same program. And we hope that given the infrastructure that exists in those places already, we'll have the opportunity to have, again, free marketing, free paid promotion, and a connection between Lee County sites that are ready for development and the people who are making decisions on site selection and where to proceed with those developments. We've also benefited from a couple of requests for information or these projects that come through where they're looking for a very specific criteria for sites. They always have project code names. You know, you don't know who the business is. It's under confidentiality at the time. But we've had several sites visits, even within this last month, to sites in Lee County where code name projects have come out in person to visit the sites that we have and to evaluate us compared to other sites in Illinois or other sites across the country. And so it continues to be a very good source of deal flow for us. And we have a couple at least who have come on multiple site visits who have looked at a couple of different options within Lee County. And we hope they'll find something that meets their needs. But you know that when they go through that level, and it's not just, you know, the first call for proposals, they've actually made multiple site visits here, not just from the United States, but from other countries as well. That's a good indication that you're on a very serious short list. We've also seen very positive development in the Lee County Business Park here. So one, if you haven't been out to see the progress at the Bunnell project site, drive by. I mean, it is really impressive what's happening right now. Bunnell's building a 100,000 square foot production facility in the Lee County Business Park right now. And when you drive by, you get a real sense for the scale of what 100,000 square feet looks like on a site like that. Really impressive to see. All the trusses are up. That thing will be surrounded and enclosed within the next couple of weeks here. The second is that a lot that was owned by Lee County Industrial Development Association, about a 7-acre lot that's right at the front of the Lee County Business Park, right along 26, was recently sold. We closed on a sale of that on January 23rd. And I will allow the business themselves to make the announcement of who they are and what they plan to do there. But I will say it's another in a series of decisions we've seen from local businesses who have operations in other cities and other states, but when they chose to expand here. We saw that with Rayner acquiring the Rayovac facility. We saw that with Bunnell building a new facility in the industrial park, and we're seeing that again with this new business that just closed on the sale of the lot in the Lee County Business Park. I think a real testament to what it's like to do business in Lee County, what it's like to do business in the city of Dixon, and what it's like to draw a labor force from our regional communities all across the area. We've also had a number of really promising site visits that we've done with developers This is on the speculative side. This is on the side of new business development. We've been teaming up with the city of Rochelle on promotion of the dual rail mega site and of sites here in Lee County and Lee County Business Park. So we've hosted 5 different developers to come for day-long visits where we spend half the day on the east side of the county, half the day on the west side of the county, really looking at places that are shovel-ready for development. And I have to stress, one of the most important things that you can do when you're talking to a developer is give them options. They never want to see a take it or leave it. One place, this is it. If you don't like this, we don't have anything else to offer to you. And so with the spirit of looking at this as a regional plan for economic development, we've been able to forge a successful partnership to say, here are 5 or 6 sites that you can have. One of the sites I mentioned earlier that's made multiple site visits here, they started with one place and then the needs changed and the availability changed. And we were able to, through an established relationship, give them more options. And that's one of the most important things. We kept that fish on the hook because we had more than one thing to offer to them. And I think that's to the credit of the approach that the county's taken and the approach that we're trying to take on a regional basis to working together to try to find economic development and success together. A couple of other items to note. One is I've been pleased to be a part of a very local economic development effort in the village of Lee. The village of Lee over the last several months has taken the opportunity to convene an economic development committee of their own and to say, what is it that we as a small village can do to try to understand what our strengths and weaknesses are and where our opportunities might lie. Allie, who's joining us remotely this evening, she's a member of the committee as well. And we've had several meetings to try to evaluate, what are the attributes in the village of Lee? What are some of the opportunities? And that work is ongoing. And I think we're going to be making some recommendations in the next couple of months to what development looks like in the village of Lee. The last thing I'll mention is that we're also really excited to be partnering with Discover Dixon and with Dixon Public Schools on a career fair and hiring expo. We're hosting that on March 13th at Dixon High School. So this is a big salute to Dixon Public Schools. Amanda Wyke and I sat down with Margot Empen and Jared Shaner in December to say, hey, in the future, would you be interested in hosting a career fair with our 2 organizations? Thinking they might say, oh yeah, in the next year, we'll try to schedule something in. Dixon Public Schools said, absolutely. Jared opened his laptop and said, here's a couple of dates to choose from. Which one works for you? We chose March 13th, and that's how quickly something like this was able to come together. So a real testament, I think, to the commitment of the schools. On the 13th, we're going to have in the morning, it's a half day for Dixon Public Schools. In the morning, all the Dixon High School students will come through in shifts in the morning session, and then in the afternoon session, we open it up to any other high school student or any member of the public from the area who's interested in participating. I think we have more than 30 different booths that'll be exhibited at that right now, and I think that will only grow as we get a little closer to that date. So I think a good opportunity for some workforce development and an opportunity to support some of the businesses who are already established here or those that I've mentioned before who are growing here to be able to connect with the future workforce and the currently available workforce. So some really exciting things happening, good evidence of partnerships that are going on throughout the community and throughout the county. And I'm very optimistic about the chances for economic growth across the county in different areas over the next year or 2. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this evening. And as always, there's a lot happening. So I'll be happy to answer any questions or concerns that you have about anything else.
Any questions or comments? Tom?
Mr. Chairman, Tom, I just make the comment, we don't ask questions. It's not because they aren't there. You've answered them so well in advance. Thank you for your presentation.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well said,
Even
yeah.
outside this meeting too, if you want to give me a call anytime, I'm happy to talk through things.
And there's no
Let you know what's
flyer.
going on.
I don't see a flyer here.
What's that?
I don't have a flyer that goes with this either about,
You want to pack it?
I'm kidding.
Jack needs pictures,
Yeah.
That's true.
I'll give you maps next time. That kind of helps sometimes.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tom.
All right, thanks a lot.
A lot going on.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
that comment should go for all 3 of our guest speakers today. I think you've all done an excellent job of explaining things, presenting. We really appreciate it. And the fact we don't have questions is certainly not, we're not interested. You've done such an excellent job. I know you've answered all my questions, so thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll move on to reports and standing committees. We'll start with County Services. Mr. Scrogstad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. County Services met February 13th. All the information is in the agenda packet, all the reports from the different department heads. I just want to point out a couple of things. I don't know if people had gotten the newspaper recently, but the LOTS, Lee County Transportation Services, they received an IDOT award of 6 vehicles valued to right around $604,000 to that organization. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them. Congratulations on receiving that. Also, continuing on, I just want to make a comment. The county clerk is currently looking for election judges. So anybody out there that might be listening who want to help in our democracy by being part of the election process and being a judge, and if you're interested in helping out with that, please reach out to Nancy's office, and she'll get you set up. And then I just also wanted to point out too that most of the board members here probably got a letter in the mail from the zoning department about some upcoming ZBA hearings. And I just wanted to remind everybody that this is the time during these ZBA hearings when they're talking about wind, solar, or whatever they're dealing with. That's where the county board members need to attend, to listen, to ask questions, to be involved, and get all your information, rather than waiting for a county board to, ask a question about this or that. But the ZBAs are the place and time to get your information about what's going on and to ask your questions there. So I just wanted to throw that out there to everybody on that. So and that's all I have. Sure.
Thank you. Any questions for Jack? Thanks, Jack. We've got Public Safety and Court Services Committee, either Mr. Copine or Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Safety and Court Services met on Tuesday, February 13th at 10:30 a.m. The Chairman Copine had asked me to chair the meeting in his absence, and all the members were present. The committee approved the December meeting minutes, and along with other business are included in the county board agenda packet. The committee forwarded the administrative impound fees ordinance presented by the sheriff's office to executive committee and moved the non-sanctuary county resolution to the executive committee. The department heads walked the members through their monthly reports, and State's Attorney Boonstra gave an update on the collection of unpaid fines. Meeting was adjourned at 10:44 a.m. and our next meeting will be on Tuesday, March 12th at 10:30 a.m. That's the end of my report, sir.
Any questions or comments for Keen? Thanks, Keen. We'll go to Facilities and Maintenance Committee, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A few things to point out for the facilities and maintenance. The project next door started about 4 weeks ago. They came in and they did a lot of demolition in the basement of the new courts building. They got all their measurements and stuff for the boiler room, and they're currently making all the stuff in the shop to start putting equipment back in. We're waiting for some of the larger of the equipment to come in, but that project next door is underway and going well. Jeff, our new supervisor for facilities and maintenance, is doing a really great job. The treasurer's office, we started February 1st on the treasurer's office, and the painting's done, the plastering's done, the painting's done, all the electrical work's put in, the carpeting's down, so they're getting ready to move the treasurer's office in, and we're going to be a little bit ahead of schedule, I believe, on that project. And that's something that we've, in the maintenance program, we put forth, is to start doing some of these projects ourselves, and we're saving the county money. And the treasurer's office has been very patient, but we're the maintenance department is coming along real well. And I wanted to also thank Jeremy for stepping in and helping out with some of the procedures that we needed to implement in our department. One last thing, the elevator project got pushed back another week. So we're now at the end of this month. So as soon as we get confirmation of when the project will start, we'll make provisions for using the courtrooms next door. That's my report.
Any questions for Tom? Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Claims Committee, Mr. Zeman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two committee meetings to report on. The first one was January 17th. We processed, reviewed 58 claims, passed them on to the full board. The next meeting was February 7th. We went through 95 claims, busy day. Process is going pretty good. We've learned how to solve little issues with a phone call to try not to make a big deal out of them and solve them in a quick and timely manner. And that's about it for claims.
All right. You got any checks on CIRMA? Do you want to report at this time?
Well, is there a CIRMA report later?
No, I think we was up there earlier and I think we do it in here.
Okay, well, let's do it now.
Okay.
CIRMA, I'm the CIRMA liaison for Lee County. CIRMA's our risk management association we've been involved with for many years. And they've distributed some dividend checks for us. I want to mention a couple of them. The 2012-2013 dividend of $1,505. The 2013-2014 dividend of $1,400. The 2014-2015 dividend was $1,310. And last but not least, the big one, going back to 2006-2007, surplus distribution final. They closed out all their books and we got issued a check for $25,820. And that's about it. Any questions on that?
Any questions for Mike? Thanks, Mike. We'll go to Finance, Mr. Sheeline.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance Committee met last Thursday, and the agenda, or everything that was in the agenda is in your packet. Some highlights from the finance side. Next month, we will have the quarterly report, so we're going to be looking at the trends, but just some highlights to let you guys know. Sales tax is remaining strong. In fact, it's higher than last year, so sales tax remains in a positive trend off of budget. The income tax for the 2 months we have reported is up a little bit. That's still good news that we're exceeding from last year, because last year was such a strong year. And the one thing that the bad side is the personal property replacement tax, as the guidance from the state of Illinois is that it's nearly been cut in half. So we had anticipated, and that was in our budget, and that has come to fruition. One thing that we're also keeping track of, and that is the tipping fees off of the landfill. Although when you look month over month or the quarter, it looks like it's doing okay, but it's actually, the trend there is actually down. That's one of the things, and we've used that as part of the increase of funds that we put into the budget to balance our budget. We did use the tipping fees as part of that, and that's a challenge. And I'll be real honest with you guys, is because, unlike, yes, sales tax can fluctuate, income tax can fluctuate, the tipping fees are at a more magnitude of greater volatility there, because we don't have any idea how much garbage is going to go into the landfill. So we try to, when we put that budget together last year, we took a look at what the trends were, what we could reasonably expect, and that's just something we have to keep an eye on. Everything else that the committee took under advisement is on later on in the agenda. If there's any questions, Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to take them.
Any questions or comments? Thanks, Jim. Executive Committee, the minutes are in your agenda packet. If there's any questions, I'd answer them at this time. If none, we'll move on to the Board of Health. Ms. White.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Thank you. Normally I'd stand up, but I'm not going to. As Jeremy mentioned, there is the grant that we got for the Sharps collection container for the community. We didn't have a meeting last month. Our next meeting will be March 12th at 6 p.m. At the Health Department. I have a couple updates for you guys. We've been doing a lot of work on TB case management going around, just so you guys know. Our infectious disease nurses have spent a lot of time providing case management and working between providers on the state patient insurance level. We're working through some various emergency preparedness, and we're looking through some real life COVID experience to explore some necessary changes we need to work through there. Let's see, we'll be offering a rapid strep test. That is a cost. It's a fee for $30. So if people feel the need that they want to get checked, they can do that for a rapid strep test. This time of year, they're kind of common for kids. And that's all I have for updates. Any questions?
Questions or comments for Katie? Thanks, Katie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We'll go to 911 Board, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In addition to the reports, minutes, and reports have already been submitted on the county board agenda by Director Dallas, the ETSB met on January 24th to conduct their regular scheduled business, and the annual filing requirement reports was filed with the Illinois State Police as required to receive 911 surcharge monies. Also, the NG 911 migration continues to be a priority, and Motorola CallWorks phone system upgrade is scheduled for February 27th. The next ETSB, it will be scheduled for Thursday, March 28th, 2024 at 3:30 p.m. at the Lee County 911 Center. That's all.
Any questions or comments for Keen? Thanks, Keen. Tri-County Opportunities Council, Mr. Acree.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tri-County Opportunities Council met January 3rd. We met via Zoom that evening because it was less than fancy weather that night. Some of the highlights, we set a dollar threshold of $5,000 or less for grant applications that do not need board approval. Kind of just streamlines some of their workings there. The board also approved a motion to have a selection criteria for the early Head Start and Head Start programs based on age and income. Evidently, it had been less, it wasn't real clear before then. They've kind of got a little better criteria now. And then also the board received a training that evening from the Illinois Association for Community Action Agency. And it was pretty interesting. So no, they did a good job. There was a meeting tonight, but I chose to be here. So they were meeting at 6 o'clock down Princeton tonight. So I'll pass that along to the next meeting of what the minutes were. So thank you.
Any questions or comments for Reed? Thanks, Reed. We'll go to Blackhawk Hills Regional Council, Lee Ogle Enterprise Zone, Ms. Shippard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What we've been working on those two boards is expanding the Lee Ogle Enterprise Zone, which you'll see later in our agenda. And that will be a continuation and what we're working on. So thank you.
All right. Any questions or comments? Thanks. We'll go to Laceda, Mr. Acree.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met February 7th, and really, Mr. Demmer gave a nice comprehensive update tonight, so I don't know that I
Hard
could
to follow
do any
that,
better,
isn't it?
so.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
That was it.
We'll go to CIRMA, Mr. Zeman. I guess this would have been a good part for that.
Yeah, I think we
time.
followed that. I guess I'd like to see if Nancy can move my comments on that from my claims committee regarding CIRMA into this one. Could you do that, please? Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that. What's my mix-up? We'll go to UCCI, Mr. Kitson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last month's meeting was canceled due to a ice storm, you may remember, covered most of the state of Illinois at the end of the month. Yeah, you don't remember it. So there will be a meeting I'll be attending in Springfield on Monday.
All right.
I'll report back on that next meeting.
All right, we'll move down to Illinois Association of County Board Members, Mr. Copine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you'd like me to read what I have here, I'd be glad to do it, but go make some coffee. I have 10 pages consisting of 97 Senate bills that have been introduced for consideration, of which the Senate committees have until March 15th to review them and make their decisions on which ones will make the slate and which ones won't. There are some very interesting ones in here. I haven't read every single one, but I read the ones that more closely pertain to public safety in that area, but some of them yet to cover the whole county board area too. So if you're interested in reading, there's plenty of it here, and that's all I have.
Go ahead.
There is one that I don't know if you saw it, Mike, but it's House Bill 1634. And it's very simple titled bill. It is to adopt, the intent of the bill is to adopt California emissions in the state of Illinois. We basically, this has been kind of a trend. Virginia, I think, did pass the similar worded bill. And this is in the House. Now you think, okay, what does that mean? I can tell you, and Chairman would understand this as well from an agricultural perspective, adopting California emissions in the state of Illinois would be devastating for agriculture. And if you have an opportunity, take a look at the bill. I'd appreciate any citizen taking a look at the bill. California is a unique state. I could make more comments about California than that, but they have a unique situation, a unique form of government. We do not need that here in the state of Illinois. We need to have a robust discussion amongst ourselves to make our determination of what our emissions are going to be and what standards we want to follow, and not just blindly follow a state that isn't Illinois. Thank you.
Well said. Yes, Mr. Copine.
I'm just going to say it's not on this packet of Senate bills, so it must not have been too popular.
Let's hope not. All right, any questions or more comments for Mr. Copine? If none, we'll keep
No,
moving
sir.
on. I'm sorry.
I have no further comments.
Okay. I have no unfinished business under new business. We got an agreement for the county engineer salary. Is there a motion to approve the agreement for the county engineer salary? I got Mr. Wilson moves and Mr. Gascoigne seconds. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we've got a resolution to reappoint the county engineer. Is there a motion to approve the resolution reappointing the county engineer? Mr. Wilson moves, sorry. Mr. Hudson seconds it. Any discussion?
Quick question.
Yes.
I can't remember, but it seems like we have done this pretty recently. Do we do this every year?
What is it, Dave? Is it every 4 years?
Every 5 years.
5 years.
Okay, so what you see every year is an appropriation resolution. Okay, what you just entered into or will enter into once the state signs it, it was an agreement to enter into the county engineer salary program. And what that does is allows us to use motor fuel tax money and essentially our federally allotted money as well for the salary. So what you need to do in order to expend motor fuel tax money is you have to appropriate it, and then IDOT has to authorize it. So you see an appropriation every single year. Reappointments come around every 6 years, and you're currently in the process of reappointing. And then if that vote is successful, then there is the salary appropriation resolution to follow, and then that clears everything up for the year.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? If none, I got a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution setting the salary, as Dave just mentioned. Is there a motion to approve the resolution for the salary of the county engineer? Ms. Naylor moves, Mr. Wilson seconds. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The resolution for battery energy storage systems moratorium extension. I think it's a 90-day extension. It's in your packet. Is there a motion to approve the battery energy storage systems moratorium extension resolution? Mr. Gascoigne moves, Mr. Hudson seconds. Any discussion on this? Yes.
I just curious, like I didn't know, I mean, it's probably fine that we're extending moratorium. I just wondered what the backstory or what the, what our thought pattern is on this.
I think they're still working on the ordinance, and it gives us more time to get the ordinance together. I think there's some solar out there that's requesting it, but I think before we go down that road, we want to make sure we got our ordinance that we all agree on.
No, sure. Thank you.
It's not that I think that Lee County's against it. We just want to get our ordinance in place.
Thanks.
Any other comments or questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now we get the resolution declaring Lee County a non-sanctuary county. Is there a motion to approve the resolution declaring Lee County a non-sanctuary county? I'll go Mr. Scrogstad moves, Ms. Naylor seconds. Any discussion?
Would like to have Angie read that resolution if possible.
Yes, Angie?
Resolution declaring Lee County a non-sanctuary county. Whereas Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution gives Congress the power to establish a uniform rule of naturalization, and whereas it is the duty of Congress to establish all laws and rules regarding naturalization, and whereas the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution was ratified on July 9th, 1868, and states, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. And whereas local law enforcement in Illinois is dedicated to protecting the communities they serve and promoting public safety, requires the assistance and cooperation of the community. So law enforcement has the ability to gather the information necessary to solve and deter crime. And whereas the trust of residents is crucial to ensure that they report crimes, provide witness statements, cooperate with law enforcement, and feel comfortable seeking help when they are concerned about their safety. And whereas Illinois law enforcement is governed by the 2017 Illinois Trust Act, which helps bolster cooperation with communities, and confirms that law enforcement entities in Illinois are largely prohibited from participating in immigration enforcement operations, thus declaring Illinois a sanctuary state for immigration. And whereas local law enforcement may not enter into immigration enforcement agreements with federal immigration authorities, and whereas there is no express or inherent authority under Illinois law that permits state or local law enforcement to enforce federal immigration law, and whereas local law enforcement may not stop, arrest, search, or detain an individual on the sole basis that they are undocumented, and whereas all federal officers have the authority to arrest an individual for violation of civil immigration law without a criminal warrant. And whereas Lee County, by declaring itself a non-sanctuary county, pledges and dedicates its limited resources to its residents in need, and absent emergency circumstances, Lee County will not provide taxpayer-funded services or dollars toward the immigration crisis. Now, therefore, be it resolved by this County Board of Lee County, Illinois, that Lee County is declared a non-sanctuary county, dedicating our limited resources to those in need here in Lee County. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Scruggs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First off, I want to thank Angie Shippert for spearheading this resolution. I was honored to be involved in this along with Mr. Hudson in putting together this resolution. But I just wanted to just make a couple comments out there on this, and I know we're already getting we're getting pretty beat up on social media when a local media started putting out that we're doing this, and I can only imagine that I don't get that particular media, so I don't know exactly what they put, but I can only assume that it's just a headline, and there's no substance to it unless you subscribe to that. So I'm hoping that the media is listening to me right now and they don't construe my words. But what I want to say is this is a county resolution, and it carries no weight. It's totally unenforceable. It's just a statement. Like in our resolution, it says that in 2017, our Illinois legislators passed the Trust Act. And according to a statement from 2017, a news article, it basically says the reason they passed this particular Trust Act, it says to help law enforcement focus on stopping violent crime and protecting Illinois residents. Back then, I don't think they realized that, and 6 years later that they would pass the Safety Act, which basically, protects the criminals a little bit more. I often wonder if the average citizen of Illinois really knows what the Trust Act means and what it's all about. In 2019, 2 neighboring counties were sued by an organization because they felt the counties violated the Trust Act when they arrested an offender who was in the United States illegally. Again, this is just a resolution. And it's basically Lee County as a governing body is saying to the rest of Illinois, we are not a sanctuary county like the Chicago area. And we're not letting county funds that we receive from our taxpayers to help support the citizens. I'm sorry. We want the county funds that we receive from taxpayers to support the citizens of Lee County, and we can barely do that. Just recently, the legislators created a working group called the New Arrivals Working Group. They're a group of legislators, mostly in the Chicago area, to address the ongoing influx of migrants and asylum seekers that are arriving in the state from the country's southern borders. Now, I have a theory that this group will be telling the counties in Illinois through legislation how to handle the inflow of immigrants to help out the Chicago area. The reason why I feel this way is because our legislation have already told every county in Illinois how to handle our solar and wind projects. So what really is the solution to our immigration system? Well, what we need is our federal government to enforce current laws that are already on the books. And we wouldn't have such an influx of immigration. Yes, the United States is a country based on immigration. Our past immigrants that became citizens came to the United States through legal means. So why this resolution? We are asking the board to pass a resolution telling the Illinois legislators that they need to do better. And if you can't do better, your constituents will vote you out of office for someone that's got some more common sense. There is some speculation that, if we stand up and say, hey, we're a non-sanctuary county, that the leadership will withhold grant information from us. I mean, there's just speculation. No one has actually said that, but if the leadership in Illinois is going to deny every grant application or something similar to that to Lee County because we took a stand and we didn't fall in line, then who are we to talk about someone that could ruin our democracy, a single person that could ruin our democracy? I say that's pretty despicable, and it's against every the very first amendment that we have in the United States Constitution. So, I mean, you know, if the verbiage on this, where it says we're not a non-sanctuary county, I just heard that Madison County is looking into calling theirs a resolution opposing sanctuary status. Tomatoes, it's the same thing. But if it sounds better, you know, maybe we could change that verbiage as well. But that's not before this, at this particular moment under this motion, but, you know, that's something to consider as well. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Well said, Jack. Well said. Any other questions or comments? None. I think we'll do this by a roll call vote.
Zeman,
Yes.
Acree,
Yes.
Bivens,
Yes.
Book,
Yes.
Freel,
Yes.
Gascoigne,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Huss,
Yes.
Kitson,
Yes.
Copine,
Yes.
Larum,
Yes.
Naylor,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Sheline,
Yes.
Yes.
Shippert, Scrogstead,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes. Motion carried, and I think that says a statement right there, it was unanimous. So. Moving on, we're going to go to the ordinance amending the administrative impound fee. This has to be held over for a month. Is there a motion to hold over the ordinance amending the administrative impound fees until the March County Board meeting? Ms. Naylor moves, Mr. Gascoigne seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go down to G. The ordinance expanding the Lee Ogle Enterprise Zone. We had a resolution in Resolution 07-18-002 was passed in July of 2018. It states that ordinances for the Lee Ogle Enterprise Zone can be approved without the 30-day waiting period. Usually an ordinance we have to hold over for 30 days, but we moved that resolution back then. So with that being said, is there a motion to approve the ordinance expanding the Lee Ogle Enterprise Zone? Mr. Bivens moves. Mr. Copine seconds it. Any discussion on what we're doing here? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're down, we got two appointments this month. The resolution reappointing Terry Zink as weed superintendent. Is there a motion to approve the reappointment of Terry? Mr. Hudson moves, Ms. Naylor seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have a resolution reappointing Joel Hochstetter, a trustee of Amboy Fire Department. Is there a motion to reappoint him? Mr. Gascoigne moves, Mr. Robertson seconds. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I have no executive session this month. I need a motion to approve the county officers' report. Mr. Kitson moves. Mrs. Naylor seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I need approval of the monthly revenue report, claims paid vacation, and payroll paid. Mr. Wilson moves, Mr. Kitson seconds it. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, we got to do this roll call. Thank you. I didn't see that. We do that every month. Sorry. Just in a hurry to get out of here.
Acree,
Yes.
Bivens,
Yes.
Book,
Yes.
Freel,
Yes.
Gascoigne,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Huss,
Yes.
Kitson,
Yes.
Copine,
Yes.
Yes.
Naylor.
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Sheeline,
Yes.
Shippert,
Yes.
Scrogstad,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Zeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes. All right. Now I need a motion to approve the board member mileage and per diem. Mr. Wilson moves and Mr. Kitson seconds. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, and I need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Wilson moves, Mr. Gascoigne seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It was almost like Mr. Horshack over there.